Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rainboots.com. Let's make a wood block shelf sitter with some glasses. Boop! If you'd like to make it with me, just stick around. As always, I would appreciate if you gave this video a like so I know you're here. So we are going to have fun with a little unfinished wood. You don't have to cut yourself. And I do want to mention the subscriber only pattern is coming next week, so be sure to subscribe. I'll put a link to my newsletter down below. I am using these, you can see here, this one's about 6.5 inches. These are from Etsy. You do not have to cut your own wood. I'm going to use a 3/4 inch flat back wood round, and I'm going to use 1/2 inch wood beads for the feet, and I'm going to be using 2 of those. I'm also going to be using a faux fur and blush I got on Amazon, macrame cord I got on Amazon, but you can also just use jute if that's what you have on hand. I'm using a beautiful dark stain. We're also going to need paper towels, gloves, a drill, glue gun, scissors, and an X-Acto knife. Also, protect your work surface. See my desk? I always get asked, how do I clean it? Y'all, that's contact paper. Your girl is a messy crafter. I'm so clean everywhere else in my house, but this craft room sometimes, whew, Dorothy and the tornado situation comes to mind. But I do have to protect my manicure because I have some place to be, so I'm going to put on some disposable gloves. When you're working with stain, here's a great tip. It's going to get on anything if you don't protect it, so go ahead and put on an apron as well, or a garbage shirt you don't like. All right, so I gave the stain a quick stir, and you can see this is so easy. I love staining versus painting because to get everything painted really smooth, you have to paint, then sand, then paint, then sand, and that's so much work. So I just like to stain. And this is a really pretty color stain. You can get this at the Home Depot, Lowe's, wherever. I've never seen stain at the dollar stores. If you have, let me know below. But I'm just using a paper towel because I can't find my entire box of stain rags that we keep, right? Like, we have a whole box and I don't know where they are. My husband has probably absconded with it. Anyway, you can see how quickly this unfinished pine takes this. It's just a gorgeous, easy way. You can do 2 coats if you don't like the first color. It will absorb some of that dark color. This, however, dries a little bit darker, not too much darker, and you'll see the difference. I also went ahead and stained these little wood beads, and just FYI, these don't always take stain that well. There's always, you see that one right there? There's always going to be that little rim in there that stays lighter. This one is going to be different because of course it is, and that's just how it tends to work out sometimes. So I am going to have to go get a little more stain for that one because it's not at all dark. But you can see how dirty I get. Goodness gracious, I am a messy crafter. Y'all, those people who like look like 1950s housewives in their crafty outfits, not me. Like right now, I'm probably in shorts and a t-shirt because it's already hot in Texas. Well, it's like 9 months of the year. Anyway, once we have it, you can go ahead and take a dry rag, or if your husband took them, a paper towel. A little bit of stain will come off, but not a lot because most of it's going to be absorbed. Now, I went ahead and did the bottom side of that. I don't know if you need to. You could also just put, you know, a stamp with your business name, or I could put that on my laser. I don't know. I just stained it. Wipe these down as well. And again, I mean, these are very inconsistent in the way they take stain. I think it's kind of cool, that little like halo in the middle of the bead, but if you don't like it, maybe go ahead and paint at that point. All right. Once we have those, I take off my gloves because they're so messy. And look what I found. Yeah, this was a test cut on one of my lasers of an MDF, and I wanted to see if it would take the stain, so just put one glove back on inside out, which didn't really help. But yeah, there you go. So you can buy doll glasses on Amazon or at the craft store. You can also make glasses out of wire. Girl, there needs to be no glass in there, okay? Girls and guys, I should say. We do have some men who join us in our crafting here on this channel. All right, so yeah, now I gotta go scrub my hands again. And then I'm just gonna wipe off a little bit extra of the stain on the MDF just like we did the wood. And then we have bright green on one side, but you know, it'll work. All right, guess what? We're gonna go with a power drill. Okay, if you're afraid of power tools, don't worry. You can also take an awl or a chisel or something and just make a hole. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's gonna be covered up. I'm too lazy for that, so I went and got 2 drill bits that I thought were about the size of my cord here. We're going with the big one. Do I know what the size of it is? No, it's probably some 53 30-seconds, or no, that won't work. 53 83rds or so. I don't know. I don't like them. All I do is measure by eyeballs. That's how I roll. All right, so you can see all I'm gonna do, I think I already showed you the height of this was 6.5 inches, but if not, I just want to let you know, I'm just gonna divide this in about evenly down here on the bottom, which you can't see because it's pencil on a dark stain. But I promise you, I went 3/4 of an inch from either edge, and then I went up about 3/4 of an inch because I'm going to cover this with the fur. There's 2 little T's there, not sure if you can see. Protect your work surface and drill straight down, 90-degree angle, and that's it. I promise I'm drilling. Doesn't look like I'm drilling. Now I'm reversing. All right, I'm gonna dump that in the trash can. Learn that lesson. I'm gonna do the same thing over here on the other side, and then reverse and dump that. Now I do turn it over on the back. Why? I don't know, but I just don't like those little like splinters. So I'm just gonna drill from the back as well, bang that right off and blow that off, and now we're done. You can put the drill away. You're all done. So this is optional. I use a little piece of masking tape because I cannot stand warring with anything in my craft room. And when I try to thread anything through anything, it helps to have a needle. So I'm just gonna wrap this and then stick it through here. If it doesn't work because it's being difficult because you did not measure, Sarah, just use a stick and poke it through because force will accomplish what we need. All right, so I'm just going to cut this off. I'm going to leave a very, very long leg because I kind of forgot that this was going on a tiered tray. So I'm gonna adjust in just a second. Now I do make 2 knots, but I add glue to the center of one of them, and then I'm just gonna do this whole process again. Quickly because you don't need to do it. And I will say, start to finish, this craft took less than 30 minutes, and that was also me taking my dog on a quick walk. So I just accidentally left it recording while the stain was drying. So quick craft. So here, I just wanted to show you, I do put a little bit of glue in here so that it doesn't come apart. I do that on my knots for macrame just because over time they tend to fray a little bit, but with the glue they definitely stay. All right, so I'm just going to thread the end of the one we already had in there right through the bottom of the hole, or right through the hole of the bead. If you can't get through, go get your stick. All right, so that's when I realized, ooh, those legs are way too long and I need it for a tray. So I'm just going to make a knot, double knot with a little glue, and then I'm going to cut it off. That's it. Do the same thing on the other side, wrap it up so I can thread it, and it didn't thread, so now I'm going to force it through with a little stick and then match it up. Now I will say this is a harrowing experience. Just lay it down on the table and try and match up the beads, and then let the knots fall where they may. There's glue in that one, the one on the left, and now there's secured on the right as well. So watch your little fingers if you still have fingerprints. All right, so I'm just gonna hack those off, and now I glue down the back on. After I play, I glue down the back of it, and this is optional for you. I think it would look really super cute if you did not use a wraparound gnome beard, and you just let these free fly behind the guy. I didn't mean to rhyme, but look at me, I'm a poet. Okay, and now I play again because y'all, that's just cute. You can do small, thin cord as well, and braided or fabric, whatever you want to do. All right, that's my very fancy way of measuring. I just use an X-Acto knife on the fur to make a mark, and then I just go straight across. Again, I'm only scoring the back of the faux fur fabric with the X-Acto knife, and yank, it's all good. Now, because this was sent to me as a sample from Amazon, it was cut with scissors, and you can see one side's all pretty, one side is flat, and that's okay. We're gonna cover it up, so it doesn't matter if somebody hacked it up with scissors. So now I am going to fold down the very top of the fur. I get asked this all the time. How do I make the beard look pretty when I don't use a hat? This is how. Fold down 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, whatever your happy heart desires, and that will make it look like it's just kind of there. You won't see any of that fabric at the top. You won't see any strings. It just makes it look a little nicer. This is my very fancy way of measuring how to put this on. Yep, that's technical. And then I just glue everything down. I went a little overboard on the glue only because, you know, it's going to be bumpy back there. But you don't have to go all the way around on the beard. You can do just the front or covering the sides or a full wraparound like I did. Brushing it out also allows you to see if there are any places that aren't secured down along that top edge. And then once you have glued anything down that isn't secure, we're just going to glue on the nose. Now, I'm going to use these because I think it's hilarious, and I don't have any gnomes with I don't know if I have any gnomes with eyeglasses. Not in the last few years anyway. So I'm going to use them by putting a little hot glue right here. Somebody told me you can also use nail glue for these kinds of tiny little things, which I will try next time. This is it for me. I made him a little mustache just by pulling apart the faux fur. As I mentioned before, subscribe down below for a free pattern coming next week. I sincerely appreciate you being here. Please like this video, share, and subscribe for more crafty fun.